Well everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone 15 Pro and see how this particular iPhone holds up in 2024. Now, the thing I will tell you first of all is that this is the iPhone that I'm currently using. This is my main go-to. This is the device that I've been using on an everyday basis, and I am so looking forward to this particular device without a doubt. I am so happy with it. It's been my iPhone that I've been using pretty much since like 4 or 5 months ago, and I will tell you, I'm a big fan of it. I love talking about the iPhones that I currently use, and this is basically the one I'm using on an everyday basis. Now, I'll talk about this video or review it, everything like that, but if you are interested in buying this iPhone at any point throughout this video, links will be down in the description. You can get this iPhone from there, and you can help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off with the outside of the iPhone 15 Pro, this particular iPhone is basically giving you this very nice, very beautiful 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. Now, it's a very beautiful panel, gets 2000 nits of brightness. It's 120 Hz ProMotion display as well, and it is without a doubt a very, very good display that I'm a massive fan with. This is probably one of the best panels Apple's ever made. It is a really nice looking display, and whenever I look at this iPhone, I just get so happy because, as I said before, it's probably one of the best displays Apple's ever made as of this point. It gets very bright, it has a dynamic island which kind of gets in the way sometimes, but regardless, I'm a big fan of the way this particular panel looks like, and I will still recommend people to buy this phone. I mean, I can talk about this panel all day. I will say maybe it doesn't have the brightest panel in the market, but it's a very, very good panel, and I'm still a massive fan of the way it kind of comes down to it right now. So from that perspective, definitely gets a thumbs up for me. On the sides, it's a flat-sided phone. There's just not really that much craziness going on with it from that perspective. It's pretty much what you'd expect from a flat-sided phone. You're getting a USB Type-C port on the bottom of this phone as well, which is great. I love having USB Type-C, and this is pretty much no exception. It's a very good phone from that perspective. It can give you, the charging output that you need, and I will tell you from a lot of different ways, this is a phone that I'd look at. I'd be, I'm a massive fan of it too from that perspective, and I like having USB-C on an iPhone. This is the first iPhone with USB-C as well, which again, that in of itself is another super crazy thing going on here as well. Now, on top of that, you're getting the frosted glass back on this iPhone as well, which is great. I love being able to go through and just, having that frosted glass back is really cool. Triple camera setup with a LiDAR sensor on the backside as well, which is another really cool thing going on for this particular phone too. You're getting the MagSafe capability, getting wireless charging on this phone, and on the exterior of this phone, although not a lot has changed basically since like the iPhone 13 Pro, and even from the iPhone 11 Pro, there hasn't been like crazy massive changes. There are still some improvements that this iPhone has gotten and has given you with this particular device, like that better display, like the bigger cameras, like the USB Type-C port. There is not going to be a massive change for iPhones, I think, in a while. Maybe the removal of the dynamic island, but looking at the body of this particular iPhone, I still think it looks and feels very, very good from that particular perspective. So from that side, it definitely gets a thumbs up for me. Now, on top of that, this iPhone is still also giving you the price tag of $1,000 in the brand new market. Now, this in and of itself can be one of the bigger downsides of buying one of these iPhones, because if you're wanting like a better iPhone, you're going to have to spend a little bit more money, like on a $1,000 plus iPhone. But with this one, $850, in the used market, it's definitely not that bad. I definitely will say for a lot of people out there, getting an iPhone like this may not be that terrible, but it's still a very expensive iPhone. That's just kind of what's going to end up happening with these types of devices. So keep that in mind. $850 is not terrible in the used market, but it's not perfect either. That's just one of those things to kind of keep in mind here with this particular device. Now, in terms of the camera side of things, this iPhone, I will still say, probably one of the best cameras that you can buy in the market right now. It's a beautiful display with a lot of capability from that perspective alone. You're getting that 48 megapixel wide, 12 megapixel telephoto, 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera as well. It's a beautiful sensor. I think this is one of the best phones you can buy right now in terms of the camera. And you're also getting a 12 megapixel front-facing camera as well. 4K at 60 on the front and the back. This is some really solid resolutions that you can film inside of a phone. Now, clearly this is not like 8K capability, at 60 frames per second. It's not giving you that at all. But I will tell you, for like an everyday person, this is a good camera. You're getting a lot of capability in a lot of different ways. And I do think if you're in the market and you're looking for a camera, it's a very solid option. Now, when I go ahead and use this camera inside of social media applications, it also gives me a thumbs up. I think it gives me a really good experience from that way. And I think that's another really cool thing going on for this particular device too, because Apple gave a really good camera inside of this particular phone. So whether you're going on to Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, really any sort of application, you're going to be having a really good time with it. And I do think that's another solid thing going on for this particular device when it comes down to it as well. So again, it's not like the most perfect camera of all time, and there's definitely issues and problems that this phone is going to be giving you. But I look at this particular phone and I'm a massive fan of the way this camera is set up for the last couple of years, or for the last 4, 5, 6, 7 months since this phone's came out. But for the last couple of years, Apple's been using the same type of camera, and I still think it's been giving me a thumbs up for sure, without a doubt. So from that perspective, definitely gets a thumbs up for me. Now, another big thing going on for this particular iPhone are the software updates. Now, historically, Apple has given us really good software updates on our phones, basically year over year over year. That's something that just Apple's been doing. I've been a fan of the way Apple's been approaching their software updates too, and I think this in and of itself is another really nice thing going on here, because you can easily just go ahead and buy this phone and get a phone that's going to be supported with software for so many years, and that's a very beautiful, nice thing going on here. I think if I'm going through and getting a phone, this without a doubt gets a thumbs up for me from the software perspective. It's almost like the most perfect phone for me. It gets software updates all the time, it gets little improvements, little cool things here and there, and I think that's another really nice thing going on here. Is it perfect? No, there's obviously, crazy issues that can happen at any time. And it's, honestly nowadays, Apple needs to change up their software perspective a little bit, because you can't just go through and just keep getting these phones that are going to be giving you these software updates. And when compared to the competition, the other phones might be giving you a little bit of a better experience in some ways. So that's just one other thing you kind of have to keep in mind here. And I'd hate for you to go and buy this phone and look at the competition and kind of be jealous of it, because some of these other devices are going to be giving you a little bit of a better experience when it kind of comes down to it there too. So just another minor thing to keep in mind. Not the end of the world or anything, but when you're looking at these types of devices, you're going to be getting an overall better experience on some of these other ones rather than this one. But from the performance side, this phone is still giving you such a solid performing device, it's like not even funny at all. This phone's going to be giving you the Apple A17 Pro chip with 8 gigabytes of RAM. That is by far such like a crazy thing going on for this particular phone, because this phone's going to be giving you such a solid experience almost every single way. With the iPhone 15 Pro, you're going to be getting, dude, I've never had a performance problem inside of this phone at all. Everything I've ever needed to do on this phone, it's been giving me such a solid experience. And I think that's a very nice thing going on for this particular device, because you don't really have to worry about this phone like being super slow, or not being able to handle everything or anything you throw at it. The thing you have to remember is that Apple's thrown some really good, decent performance on this phone. And because of that, you're not going to feel like you have a slow phone. I've done a lot of things with this phone as my main device, and it's given me some of the best experience I could probably imagine on any device out there. So that's a really good sign. The battery life has also never been an issue with me. I've never killed this phone on a single day. And I've done some really crazy things on my phone that's kind of made it last, throughout a long period of time. And I've had a very solid experience from it, from that particular setup as well. So, in my opinion, I will definitely tell you the iPhone 15 Pro is still without a doubt one of the best phones you can basically buy. It's a very good phone. It's not like perfect for the most part, but I think Apple did a really good job with this particular device. And I do think this in and of itself is another really nice thing going on for this particular device too. So, in my opinion, I think the iPhone 15 Pro is still worth it. I think this is the way I would probably recommend you to buy this phone, is to either buy it in the used market. But I do think this is a very good phone in my opinion. It's really one of the best devices I'd probably recommend people to buy. So, in terms of that kind of covers it up here. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.